What up, folks? What it do? Man, welcome to another episode of the Best Advice Ever podcast. Yeah, with your boy, Mike Goodwin, the bow-tied comedian. I had some stuff that I typically don't have in my setup. Excuse me. I make a little adjustment. Getting stuff out of the frame. That shouldn't even be in the frame, man. I should have checked this out before, but we are here. We're live. Again, my name is Mike Goodwin, the bow-tied comedian. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Best Advice Ever. And with this new format, I had just switched it up to where I just came out the gate with the advice, just out the gate. So I'm going to do that today. Why stop now? And the best advice ever today is simply go on a daily 30-minute walk. Yeah. A daily 30-minute walk. And really more than the 30-minute walk. Because that's what I really am imploring you to do is do some type of physical activity every day. And a walk is something very simple. It's something that you can knock out in a phone conversation. That's typically what I've been able to do. If I get on the phone, there's some people I know that when I talk to them, it's gonna be a pretty long phone call. So I just put my headphones on and I get to stepping. If I phone, because what I typically have been doing, I was incorporating some walking. But most recently, I've been running again. I've been running. I got a buddy that listens to this podcast. And I would say, hey, man, whenever you're ready to go on a run, but I know he's not ready. I just saw pictures of him on the internet at a graduation. So he does not look ready. For those of you that don't know me personally, like if you knew me personally, I would take shots at your physical fitness. I'm sorry. If you were my friend and we were buddies and we had a relationship now, if we not cool like that, I'm not gonna say anything. But like if we partners, I'm gonna say, hey man, hey, what's happening? Doing a lot of snacking, eating a lot of fries, eating a lot of chips. But this particular friend of mine, we ran one time in college. And he was a young guy. He's much younger than me. He's a few years younger than me. And we both were, I believe we were in ROTC at the time. And this guy, he's very self-assured, a lot of confidence. This guy never lacked for confidence. He's probably one of the most confident people in the room. If you're looking at any room this man is in, I'm sure that he's in the top 5% of people with confidence, right? And we went on this run. I don't remember how long. I don't remember all the details about it. I just knew that he got smoked. That's all just to put it mildly. I smoked my man. Like, he was not able. He was not able. I don't know if the distance, it was the speed. I don't know what it was, but I think I had to turn back around. Sometimes when you're running with somebody and you look back and you don't see him, you're like, oh boy, let me go back here and see if he got abducted. If somebody grabbed him up, somebody snatched my homeboy up, man. And since then, he wants no part of the run until we've aged. That was probably 20 years ago now. And a few years ago, because I tore my Achilles, so he was talking some stuff when I tore my Achilles around that time, because he knew I was not running. I was out of the running game, right? So I hadn't heard much from him in recent years, but I recently started back running, and because I have not been running, man. I had messed up I had a foot. I had like an infection in my foot that really was bad. It was very painful. and I really didn't know what had happened, what was going on, and it was difficult to walk, much less run. This was going on for a while. It took place for a minute, and I finally went to the doctor to say, "Hey, man, something's not right. Like my foot, because it felt like there was like a sore, like there was some like maybe like a because I've been in the military, like I've had blisters, when you march. I haven't had those challenges with my feet. For the most part, my feet has been A1. I've not, maybe like an ingrown toenail, something like that. But man, this was different. This was something out of this world. So it really, I walked, but I wasn't probably walking with the frequency that I would want to walk in. And I thought at some point, I thought it was just my shoes were not fitting. That's what I was thinking. Like, man, my shoes are kind of aggravating a toe or something. But no, man, we had some issues. Had to get it taken care of. What basically happened, not to be gross, but I have like my feet sweat, like moisture, and I guess if you don't dry your feet out, they can cause an infection, and that's basically what happened. My feet never were able to dry, and then I think there was a wound. Something happened bad. It was bad, right? So I got that taken care of. So I didn't run, for probably, I don't know. I need to look at my phone, because I would take, let's look. I would record. Well, that's not accurate. What I would do I would run, but I would like take screenshot of the time. But then, you know, there will be times where I'm cleaning out my phone, getting rid of pictures, and I just have these random times. And so I would delete them because I didn't have any context of, what run that was, how far I was running. So I know I had deleted some times from my phone. So this might not even be as accurate as it can be. But let's see if I'm gonna go back and try to find when I can see I screenshot it, because I'll use my timer in my phone. Yeah, man, we back. We back at 2024. We in like July of 2024. I see no screenshots. Oh man, we going. I'm sure. I'm sure it's been over a year that I just stopped running. Like, and I think part of it was I got heavier. This was even before my foot started hurting, because it's difficult to run when you heavy, man. And that's one of the reasons I was running, in order to not be heavy. Now I did look at this like a couple of weeks ago, like when I was in my best shape. I had a lot of times in my phone, so it was clear that I was running during the times when I was down. Because right before my dad passed, I was probably in some of the best shape I had been in a long time, and that was like 23. That was September 23. Okay, here we have one right here. December 13th of 23. So I was running, and that was like 13 minutes. So I'm pretty sure that wasn't a very long run. There's a couple of runs I run in my neighborhood. So yeah, December of 23, and that was a 13-minute run. So that wasn't, I mean, the run I run now, it typically takes me about 18 minutes. So I don't think it was that run. 13 minutes. That probably was just around, we got this little pond in my neighborhood. Yeah, December 13th. Now again, I went in here and deleted some times before, I know. So those times, let's see if I can get to those, because those times might be in my trash can. Let's see what's going on there. I appreciate y'all's patience. I wasn't planning on doing this. This is always the podcast is so fun to me because I just be doing stuff. I just be out here. This says recently deleted, so I don't know how long it goes before it gets rid of stuff. Yeah, I don't have any times. There's no time showing up inside of this. So yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah, I have December 23 is the last time I saw on my phone when I took a screenshot, right? So I probably been running now about 2 weeks. 2 weeks running. And I feel a lot better. I feel like my physique is more because what I have encountered is a dissatisfaction of for as hard as I work, because I go to the gym. I go to the gym. When I say a lot, I'm in the gym. If I'm home, and even if I'm on the road, I would suspect I get in the gym at least 5 days a week. I know sometimes I take a Wednesday off. Sometimes I'll take Sunday off, but I'm in the gym at least 5 days a week. And then some of those days I'm in the gym probably twice. Cause there was a time where like I'll get up in the morning and go and do some form of cardio. So I go and get on that Stairmaster for like 20 minutes, maybe do a couple of weight things, not major. Then I do like a real workout later in the day. Sometimes I was doing like bookends. I would do mornings and evenings, like 2 a days. Like for instance, today I ran this morning, and then around lunchtime I went and did like a little back workout. wasn't extensive, probably. I did about 4 exercises, 3 sets each. So that probably took me about 45 minutes. And then after I record this podcast, I think I'm gonna go and do some jump some rope. So I'll go and jump rope for about 20 minutes this evening. I'll probably go and maybe do some curls. And I do about 5 minute increments, do 4 5 minute increments of jump rope. I think that I might do that this evening before I go to the house. So that's just me. I just got to I got to get myself to a place where my clothes are fit in a particular way. I'm about 10 pounds out from where I would desire to be, just at the baseline. If I could lose 10 more pounds, that's where I want to kind of stay. That's where I feel comfortable. And if I lose more than that, that's great. But I need to be at that 8 to 10 pound range of loss. So I don't have to be having clothes in my closet that I can't wear. I don't want my stomach to be more prominent in my pictures. It's one of the things, it's like a little inside joke for me. When I'm looking at pictures of couples, I look at where the wife places her hand on the husband. So when I'm in shape, my wife puts her hand on my chest. When I'm out of shape, she put her hand on my stomach, because it's one of the two of those are the biggest things out. So if I'm fit, she puts her hand on my chest. But if I'm not fit, she's holding my 3-month-old, right? So yes, I've started back running. Now I'm not telling you to run. I'm telling you to do some type of, and at the least, again, 30 minutes walking. You can do it first thing in the morning. You can do it at your lunch. You can do it in the evening. But especially those of you that are in my age bracket, I'll be 50 this year, right? So those of you that are 35 and older, man, like you want to get yourself in a habit of doing, I mean, man, especially brothers, man. Brothers just be tapping out, man. Brothers don't do nothing physical other than go to work. Like that's their physical they like, I'm tired when I get home. Like, but brother, go do some push-ups. Do some planks. Do some jumping jacks. Like, you don't even have to go to the gym. I'm not even saying go to the gym. I'm just saying move that body, man, because here's some benefits. When you take a 30-minute walk, you improve your cardiovascular health, right? Your heart is very, very important. And the older we get, this is the only body we got. And I was thinking about that recently. Like, man, I wish I would have been conducting business in my life as though there is no other body. Like, this is the only body. I shouldn't be doing some of the things I've done to this body. So cardiovascular health is vitally important. Just your breathing, your ability to walk up steps and not be winded. That's that I watched something on, on Instagram or TikTok, and basically this woman, a fitness instructor, expert, influencer, and she was basically saying, hey, I'm working out so that I can get up off the toilet when I'm 80. I'm working out so I can carry my groceries in the house at 80. And that's kind of my dynamic. Like, I'm not looking to be on a fitness stage. I'm not looking to do a show. I probably won't even get the ideal physique. I think my best physique may be in my rear view, but I at least want to be leaner, and I want to at least have a fit physique as opposed to a fluffy physique. So 30 minutes a day just walking. That's at the minimum. At the minimum. It helps you with weight management. I don't know how much walking helps you lose weight, because it minimal weight for me is lost when I walk, unless I'm walking 10 miles, some type of, if I walk for an hour, I think that's enough to get a sweat going, but I'm not going to lose tremendous amounts of weight. But you can maintain your weight. I'm not going to gain. You can have weight management. You can burn off a couple of pounds. I'm not going to lose 10 walking, but now some people do. I'm not some people. So walking helps me to manage my weight. It strengthens your bones. Again, falling, the older you get, a fall can be detrimental to you, right? So walking helps strengthen those bones. And it also, again, back to the heart, it regulates that high blood pressure, and it regulates diabetes, all the chronic illnesses that can attack your body if you're not being active, you're not moving around. And then last but not least, there's a bunch of other, your mood can be improved, but improve sleep. Well, lay down and go to bed and fall asleep, not have so much stuff on your mind. Stress management. That's another way that walking. And then just in general, it gives you an opportunity. Sometimes I walk, I'll listen to music. Sometimes I'll listen to a podcast. Sometimes I'll listen to an audio book. And sometimes I'll just think. I'll just run ideas through my head, whether I'm thinking about a particular joke, I'm thinking about an instance, something that's kind of gotten me stressed a little bit. I'm trying to think about an answer to a problem, a solution, some kind of conflict that I'm currently engaged in. I'm trying to think about it and just think about my day, think about my future, what I have coming up, what would help me to accomplish the goals and tasks that I have in front of me. So walk, just put your walking shoes on, get you some shoes, walk in the mall, whatever makes you, whatever you can do. I mean, there's so many places you can walk. The mall, you can walk in your neighborhood, you can walk in the airport when you got a layover, you can walk at the treadmill at the gym. Like, just get yourself moving, and so that's the best advice ever for this podcast. Also talk about being on the road. Recently I was on the road in my place of residence, Columbia, South Carolina, where I live here. I had a show, a corporate event in town. It was different. It was unlike any other, even because even if I have to drive to places, it's typically at least an hour and some change, 2-3 hours, right? This event was like 20 minutes from the house. I drove downtown Columbia, this corporate event, and it was a little bit of a challenge. It was probably one of the more difficult shows I've had recently. Few things is a factor. What happened, and this was a conference, a training conference for I guess a bunch of maintenance supervisors, so blue collar guys, and I don't know if I am the blue collar comedian, right? I just don't. There's some jokes I have that everybody like, but then there's some, I'm causing you to think a little bit. I'm doing some things that make you want to tap in with me. You got to pay attention. I'm just not going to be up there jumping around. I'm not very physical. So it's a maintenance conference, and it was an evening, so I'm doing a 7 o'clock set. And I did a keynote / comedy. I did my leadership and laughter keynote, but I was heavy on comedy. So I did lot more comedy in the beginning, did my keynote kind of, and I have comedy weaved throughout my presentation. But in the future, if I found myself in that scenario, I would request that if we're going to do that, let's do 45 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes. I had to do an hour. And that's a long time. I was a long time. Now, if it's just straight up stand up, that would be different. But to do a keynote comedy hour at 7 o'clock, folks having, a couple of beers, a couple of drinks. They've been in conference all day. Those are the times you like, whew, folks out of gas. So I do get a little concerned when the evening programming, like late program, where folks have not been able to go and take a nap, refresh, and dial in. So it was great. I think it went well, but I could definitely feel that I was in there tussling. I was in there and they really throwing my best pitches. And typically, when you say jokes, they land a particular kind of way. So when I'm saying things wasn't landing as strong as I'm like, ooh, that should have been a little harder than that. That laugh should have went a little longer. So when you start noticing those things, you got to pick up the pace a little bit. Sometimes you can slow down and take your time. But I just wanted to deliver a great presentation. I think it went well, but it definitely had me on my P's and Q's. But in Columbia, I'm thinking a lot more about South Carolina and how I talk about South Carolina, because I talk about South Carolina a lot, and people are even, they associate my brand with South Carolina. So I just had a friend of mine. She said she was doing this corporate Zoom, and people were from all over the country, and she mentioned that her friend was a comedian, and she said Mike Goodwin, and somebody was like, "Oh, I love Mike," and the lady was kind of side-eyed, like, "You don't know Mike." She's like, "Mike Goodwin from South Carolina?" It's like, "Oh, you know Mike." So I think Camden, when I talk about Camden, I need to do some more material about Camden. I think that is relevant, or just South Carolina in general. There's some ideas that I'm kind of working on. South Carolina, especially Black folks in South Carolina, we finally have a song, Boots on the Ground. I don't know if you've heard this new song. It's from a guy named 803 Fresh. And I say that we finally have a song because I found myself, especially in professional settings, business settings, where when I show up, my wife show up, we represent South Carolina. So we represent ourselves, but we're from South Carolina. And they'll have a DJ at the event, and the DJ never has a song to play for us. Because you from Chicago got songs, right? You from Texas got hits. You from Georgia got, even North Carolina got some hits. They got some variety. You got little J. Cole you could choose from. You got Petey Pablo. You got what's some boys? Dead Prez. There's some guys that have made some hits out of North Carolina. Even Fantasia, you can throw a Fantasia song up there. Hit him with a little Fantasia, a little Jodeci, man. A little Jodeci from Charlotte. South Carolina, we ain't not so much, man. Dizzy Gillespie, like, hey, play that Peebo Bryson. And that's the other side. You tell people that folks are from South Carolina, it's a surprise. Peebo Bryson from South Carolina. What? Man, get out of here. Jeezy's from Columbia, South Carolina, but he moved to Atlanta, and so now Jeezy's Atlanta. I even know comedian buddies of mine that are from South Carolina, but they live in LA. They live in New York. Like so when they get fame and notoriety, it's gonna be LA. There is one comedian I know. He's from South Carolina, but he shouts out Atlanta because that's where he got his comedy started. He moved to Atlanta for a job, I think, and I think he first started doing comedy in Atlanta. So he says, "Yeah, I'm from South Carolina, but I started doing comedy in Atlanta." You know, right? So I'm representing for SC from the gate. Like I've started comedy here and I've stayed here. That's like the Ali Sadiq playbook right there. I remember talking to Ali or hearing Ali at one point talking about how he was not leaving Houston. Like he's gonna bring success by being based in his home. Like he's not moving to LA. He's not moving to New York. That's not what people tell you, man. Like one of the first things that, whether it's somebody had a conversation with me one-on-one or if you listen to a podcast or interview with a comedian, I remember there was a Chris Rock interview and someone basically was like, "Hey man, what would you advise a young comedian to do?" And it was like, he would tell them, get out of your hometown. You got to go to, can't be the funniest guy in Wichita, Kansas, right? You got to go to LA. You got to go to New York. That's what folks would tell you, man. That's when I started doing stand-up back in the day. It's like 25 years ago. Well, 20 years ago now. I think I started in '05. I don't really count like when I count when I started making money, like being professional. When I started doing this full time, that's like 12 years ago, 13 years ago. 20 years ago seems like, oh my goodness. Because about eight of those years, I kind of was just struggling on the struggle bus. But I did it from here. I did it from SC, from the 803, right? And I want to, right, I got a recording I want to do, a special. I want to record my special in South Carolina. I think I want to record it in Columbia. We're going to look and evaluate those things, but I want to bring that type of notoriety to the state. I just mentioned Chris Rock. Chris Rock's from South Carolina, but what he talked about growing up in New York, Brooklyn, like people might have been born here, but they get up out of here like the great migration. So I want to represent. I want to be an ambassador to the state. Yo, we gonna shine some comedic love on Camden. We're gonna shine some comedic love on Columbia. We're gonna shine some comedic love on the state of South Carolina. There's a lot of comedians. You know, you got J. Anthony Brown's from Columbia. There was somebody else I was thinking about. There's some South Carolinians that have done well, but they had to get up out of here. You know, they had to roll out. So I'm holding it down for the state. And so that's something I'm gonna work on. I'm gonna work on these new jokes. Because one of the issues, and I used to do this joke back in the day, I need to probably I need to bring it back. I used to talk about how to, like, the South just catch strays for no reason. Like, because people sometimes equate the South for things to going bad. Like you have a conversation with somebody and be like, "Hey man, how's it going?" It's like, "Oh man, my marriage is going south." Like, whoa, what does the South have to do with any of this? Like it's going down. So Southern South, you know, the company's profits are going south. That conversation went south. It's like, that's never positive. And the South is like, "Hey man, keep us out of that. That's between you." So I'm gonna try to probably work on that again. But thinking about ideas around being from the South and talking about, there was even this bit I was doing kind of like, I'm Southern, but I'm not country. I'm Southern, but I'm not Geechee. You know that, because when I went to the military, I joined the Army. All those drill sergeants and NCOs were like, "Oh, you from South Carolina? You Geechee boy, huh? You Geechee, you like that rice?" And I'm not Geechee. I'm not Gullah. I'm not from the Low Country. I'm not from Charleston. I'm not from the Chuck. The boy say, "I'm down from the Chuck." You had to box them boy in them out. Had to bam on them boy. those are boys from Charleston. I'm not from Charleston. I'm not around here perpetrating the fraud. I'm not trying to act like I'm from someplace that I'm not. From Camden. I say I'm from Camden, but people be like, where is Camden? That's why I am adamant about talking about Camden. I don't want to put it on the map. It's already on the map. I want you to identify it on the map. It's on there. You just hadn't paid any attention to it. So I'm gonna make you pay some attention to Camden. And all right, man. I think we're gonna wrap this up, man. I be talking. Mike Goodwin to be talking. But I did want to talk about this thing that is pretty interesting to me. And I don't know how transparent I think I'm pretty a transparent kind of guy. But I must share with you this social media numbers, right? So those of you that will listen to the podcast and listen to me, you've watched my journey. I don't know how long you've been tagging along with me, but I'm really starting to see some movement around social media, especially in terms of my followers and the regularity in which my videos are showing up. I think people are like, folks are just like, yo, you out, you on my timeline. Like, folks are sending me your clips. Yo, I see you every, like, I can't get away from you, my man. Like, so my social media team has done an outstanding job. But one of the matrix, or one of the markers that I've been looking at is Instagram, because I really wanted to have a strong Instagram follow, because that's why I spend the most of my time on Instagram. My Facebook is strong. I have a 400,000 followers on Facebook. That's good. That's really good. I don't know how that equates to ticket sales, but I think the more people that are following you, hopefully the more tickets that you're able to sell. I just recently was in Raleigh, North Carolina, and sold 230 tickets on a Sunday. That was the most tickets I've sold in a club easily. I think I've sold well in some theaters, but in a club, and I think part of that social media. I think a big portion of people that were like, man, I seen you on social media, IG, I seen you on YouTube. So it's working. But in particular, my social media, my IG numbers, I'm at like 250,000 followers now. And I remember vividly when I was at about 30, because I think when I hired this media company, the folks that helped me with social media, I was at 18,000 possibly. And I think they doubled that pretty quickly. And I sat at 30 for a while, and then I ticked up to about 60. And then at some point I was at 90. So I was at 90 for a minute, like kind of chilling. And those are cool numbers. But I remember even the church comedy tour that we did it back in November. Some of the early conversations was that, the three people that they had selected, the other two guys had a pretty big social media following. That was kind of one of the things that made them very attractive. I was attractive because I, been doing this for a while, pretty solid comedian that has been making his rounds. So like, hey man, let's get a veteran guy in there, and these other guys, good comics and, big social media following, put this together, sell some tickets. And so now, as of this date, I have more social media followers, especially on IG, than those guys. And again, I think when we started, let's say November, I might have had 90,000 followers in November. So from November to now, I'm at 250 plus thousand followers. And I don't know what that means, right? It's wild. It's a I don't know if it's a flex. It's something I'm kind of like impressed by, because it just keeps going up. I'm like, I feel the same way when I lose weight. Like if I get on the scale and the scale goes down, I feel like, oh, that's good. I like that. So as I see these numbers go up, I like it. It feels good. And I'm getting, like Anthony Hamilton commented on my post the other day. I'm a huge Anthony Hamilton fan. I saw Anthony Hamilton in the mall in Charlotte one time. I was like, "What up, dog? Big fan." Right? Holly Pete Robertson, she just recently said some Questlove has my thing posted like it's a number. Uh, what's my man Harris Wood Harris? I think I switch his name up all the time. I think he and his brother posted a clip of mine on their podcast. Like Steve Harvey just said whatever he said. Like, wow, it's wow. Like it's interesting. I'm having folks stopping me at the gym. Like, hey man, you that comedian? So it's wild. It's a wild time for me, and it's kind of it's a little disorienting because before when you could kind of be anonymous, and not that people not knocking down doors or anything, people not trying to tackle me. And I'm not on the MJ effect. I'm not, they're not waiting at the hotel to get my autograph, but folks are starting to recognize me, and so it's just different. It's just different. I'm appreciative of it. I'm grateful. I'm very humbled by it, and I'm not even on no like, ooh, beat my chest. Like, I like the numbers. I don't know what that means. I think 1 million on Instagram means something like that really moves the dial. Like you can sell out shows, I think, with 1 million, maybe not even 1 million, but I know the guys that have 1 million followers, I think that puts them in a different category, right? That puts them, they have some leverage in terms of when you look at the social media numbers, people are like, oh, that's impressive. Those are some impressive numbers. Do people purchase tickets? That's another question that we're trying to figure out. So just wanted to share that with you. And since I was kind of talking about social media, because I spend time on social media, I find it funny. I follow a lot of Instagram accounts. I'm a WNBA fan. I'm a fan of WNBA. I don't know. I think I can say that without embarrassment. There's some people that try to like shame you for like, I like the WNBA. I probably should write. I'm gonna write some material on that. Because I remember I was telling somebody I was gonna get a WNBA package, and they were like, said no one ever. But it's like $30, bro. Like, hey man, I probably can get the lifetime package right now before that thing blow all the way up, right? But I'm a South Carolina Gamecock women's basketball fan. So again, it's only natural that I follow a lot of those players into the league. And I've always been a fan. I think I mentioned this before. I can kind of hear myself talking about, I think I might have talked about this in the last podcast. But I'm following the Atlanta Dream, right? Following their story. It was funny to me. I'm following it. They have a game day. So you go to the story. They have everything except whether they won the game. Like when they lose, they don't post nothing. So I'm watching the other day. They post the game day graphic. They post like pregame fits from different players. They post the starting five in the story. They post the injury report. They post who was even singing the national anthem. They had VIPs. They had the mayor that was there. 2 Chainz was there. They had different highlights at some point. I think Rain Howard, if that's the name, she had like 6-7 shots in a row. They posted that. They showed a couple of 3-pointers that Tahina Pow hit. They even showed the halftime score, showed who was performing at the halftime entertainment. They even showed the record attendance of the night. But you know what they didn't show? The final. So I just had to surmise that they lost this game, but they put everything, hey man, just put the final. Like it was a tough loss. Just put it up there. I mean, you can put everything else and not the final. Come on. Come on, Dree. What you're not going to do is post everything except for the final score. I'm like, who won the game? I'm looking at all this stuff. Who won? What was the final? Well, I think I've won because my time is up. I've done enough. So this is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in with me. Please like, subscribe, follow. You can hit me up on my social medias. I'm at Bowtie Comedy on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm at Comedian Mike Goodwin. At YouTube, Comedian Mike Goodwin. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and I appreciate it. And I'll see you next week. Same bat channel, same bat place. Peace.